The tale of Rapunzel's escape. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there stood a tall tower hidden deep within a forest. This tower was not an ordinary tower, it was the home of a young girl named Rapunzel. Her hair was as golden as the sun itself, and it flowed down the length of the tower like a cascade of shimmering silk. Rapunzel had been raised in this tower by an enchantress, who had found her as a baby and taken her in. The enchantress had cast a spell that made the tower unreachable except by climbing up Rapunzel's long hair. And so, Rapunzel grew up isolated from the outside world, her only companions being the birds that nested in the tower's rafters. Despite her solitude, Rapunzel was a spirited and curious young girl. She spent her days singing to the birds and reading the few books the enchantress had left behind. But as she grew older, she couldn't help but wonder about the world beyond her tower. One day, as Rapunzel gazed out of her window at the distant horizon, she spotted a young prince riding through the forest. His cloak billowed behind him as he galloped through the trees, and Rapunzel was captivated by his grace and beauty. She longed to meet him, to explore the world with him by her side. Determined to escape her tower prison, Rapunzel devised a plan. Each day, she would weave a ladder out of the golden strands of her hair, carefully knotting them together until she had fashioned a sturdy rope. And then, one moonlit night, when the enchantress was fast asleep, Rapunzel tied one end of the rope to her window and tossed the other end out into the darkness below. With trembling hands and a racing heart, Rapunzel descended the makeshift ladder, her golden hair shimmering in the moonlight. When she reached the forest floor, she took a deep breath and stepped out into the world beyond her tower. The prince was surprised to find a young maiden wandering through the forest at night, but he was immediately enchanted by her beauty and her radiant smile. He introduced himself as Prince William, and together they embarked on a grand adventure, exploring the wonders of the world around them. As they journeyed through the forest, Rapunzel and Prince William grew closer with each passing day. They laughed and danced beneath the stars, sharing their hopes and dreams with one another. And as they traveled, Rapunzel discovered that she was more brave and resourceful than she had ever imagined, but their happiness was not to last. The enchantress, furious at Rapunzel's escape, tracked them down and cast a powerful spell to separate them once and for all. In a flash of light, Rapunzel was whisked away from Prince William's side and returned to her tower prison. Heartbroken and alone once more, Rapunzel gazed out of her window at the world beyond, longing for the day when she would be reunited with her beloved prince. And though she was trapped in her tower, her spirit remained unbroken, for she knew that love would always find a way to triumph in the end.